Hi, and welcome to English-Fabule. Are you learning English? Great. Let's learn English with a very interesting story. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and comment. Let's get started.
Have you seen the movie The Wolf of Wall Street? It's a very exciting film about money and crazy parties. Many people think it is unbelievable. But the real story of Jordan Belfort is even more surprising than the movie. The film shows a lot, but it could not show everything. There are so many true things about Jordan Belfort that are hard to believe. This book is about the real Jordan Belfort. He was a very clever scammer. He cheated the system and made a lot of money in a bad way. We will look closely at how he did it. We will see how he became rich by tricking people. But this story is not just about Jordan. It is also about the person who tried to stop him. This was FBI agent Greg Coleman. He was like the opposite of Jordan. Greg wanted to catch Jordan and stop his illegal activities. We will learn about Greg and how he tried to bring Jordan to justice. In this book, we will understand how Jordan Belfort stole millions of dollars. It's interesting to know how someone can cheat so many people. We will also see why he did not go to prison for a very long time. For all the money he took, his time in jail was quite short. Finally, we will ask, was Jordan Belfort really a wolf? The movie calls him that. But was he a strong, clever wolf or something else? Maybe he was not as powerful as he seemed. We will think about what kind of person Jordan Belfort really was. 2. Jordan starts selling. Jordan Belfort grew up in Queens, New York. Some people say his family was poor, but this is not really true. They lived in an apartment building, not a very poor house. His parents worked with money, so he learned about finance from a young age. When Jordan was 16, he started selling ice cream in the summer. He was very good at it. He could talk to people and make them want to buy ice cream. He didn't just sell ice cream, he knew how to sell himself. In just a few months, he made almost $20,000. This was a lot of money in 1978. He saved this money to go to college. His mother wanted him to become a dentist. Jordan started studying to be a dentist. But on the first day, a professor told the students that dentists don't make a lot of money. Jordan did not want to be a dentist if he could not be rich, so he left dentist school very quickly. After school, Jordan needed a job. He started selling meat. He worked hard and used his selling skills. He became a very good meat salesman, one of the best. He learned how to sell meat to different people and businesses. He was making good money, but he wanted to do more. Jordan had an idea to start his own meat business with a friend. They started selling meat together. The business grew very fast, too fast maybe. Jordan was making a lot of money and he started spending it. He bought a red Porsche car. He was only 21 years old and he had a Porsche. This car impressed a lot of people. But Jordan's business was risky. He bought all the meat using credit. This means he borrowed money to buy the meat and he needed to pay it back later. When the business stopped making money, Jordan could not pay back the money he borrowed. At 25 years old, Jordan had a big problem. His business failed. He could not pay his debts. He had to declare bankruptcy. This means he told the court he could not pay his bills. He lost his company. The bank took his red Porsche car. Jordan lost everything. He had no business, no car, and no money. But Jordan Belfort was not someone who gave up easily. He decided to start again. 3. Jordan learns about money. The 1980s were a time of big changes in the world of money. The economy was growing quickly. The government made the rules for banks less strict. This helped businesses to grow and make more money. Wall Street, the famous street in New York where people trade stocks, became very important. It was a time of boom on Wall Street. New ways to trade money became popular. People started to use new things like options and futures. Companies were buying other companies. The stock market was going up and many people were becoming millionaires. Every day it seemed like someone new was getting rich. Trading stocks was also changing. Before, it was harder to know stock prices. But in the 1980s, phones and computers started to change things. Brokers would call people on the phone to tell them about stocks. They would try to convince people to buy or sell. This was because the broker knew the stock price, but normal people did not know until the next day in the newspaper. Around this time, a movie called Wall Street came out. It was about the exciting and sometimes bad world of stockbrokers. Jordan watched this movie and it made a big impression on him. He was inspired by the movie and wanted to work on Wall Street. He wanted to be part of that world of money and success. Jordan got a job at a company that had been around for a long time. It was not a high-level job. He was a gopher. This meant he did simple tasks like connecting phone calls. He would connect brokers to their clients, but even getting this job was interesting. When he had his interview, the person asked him to sell something. Jordan quickly thought of a stock. He started to talk about it in a very excited way. He said the stock price would go up very fast, and it was a sure way to make money. The person interviewing him said that this kind of sales talk was not allowed. It was illegal to promise people sure profits. But even though Jordan did something wrong, the person hired him anyway. Jordan started to work in a very busy and noisy office. This office was called a boiler room. It was full of brokers who were on the phone all day. They were calling clients and trying to sell stocks. It was a very stressful place. People were always trying to make deals and earn money quickly. Jordan saw people make a lot of money very fast. He also saw people lose a lot of money just as fast. It was a risky and exciting world. In the boiler room, some people used drugs to deal with the stress. It was not unusual to see people using drugs to work harder and longer. After working there for about half a year, Jordan studied and got his broker license. This meant he was officially allowed to buy and sell stocks for clients. He was now a real stockbroker. He was happy and excited about his new job, but just 1 month later something bad happened. In 1987, the stock market crashed suddenly. It was called Black Monday. The prices of stocks went down very, very quickly. Many companies lost a lot of money. The company where Jordan worked also had problems and went bankrupt. Jordan lost his job again. He was unemployed once more, but he had learned a lot about how money worked and how the stock market could change quickly. 4. Jordan finds easy money. Jordan lost his job again. After the big stock market crash in 1987, the company where he worked went bankrupt. He needed to find work quickly to earn money. He looked in the newspaper and saw an interesting advertisement. A company was hiring brokers to sell something called penny stocks. Jordan wasn't sure what penny stocks were, but he needed a job. He went for an interview and learned more. Penny stocks were shares of very small companies. These companies were new and not well known. The shares were very cheap, often costing only a few cents each. Because they were so cheap, people could buy many shares at once. This seemed like a good opportunity to some people. However, penny stocks were also very risky investments. The small companies might grow and become successful, like big companies such as Apple or Microsoft had done. If that happened, the price of the penny stocks could go up a lot, and people could make a lot of money. But it was also very likely that these small companies would fail. If they failed, the penny stocks would become worthless, and people would lose all the money they invested. Another important thing about penny stocks was that they were not checked by the authorities as much as stocks in big companies. Penny stocks were often sold over the counter, or OTC. This meant they were traded outside the main stock exchanges, where there were fewer rules and less control. Jordan started his new job selling penny stocks. He quickly noticed something important. The company charged very high fees, called commissions, every time someone bought or sold these penny stocks. These commissions were much higher than the commissions charged on Wall Street for normal stocks. Jordan realized that these high commissions were the key to making big money for himself and the company. The more trades he made, the more commission he earned. So, Jordan started to sell penny stocks very aggressively. He used pushy and sometimes dishonest sales talk. He would call people on the phone and tell them that these penny stocks were a sure way to get rich quickly. He promised them huge profits and said the prices would go up very fast. He pressured people to buy stocks immediately without thinking too much. Sometimes his sales methods were probably not legal, but at that time the rules for selling penny stocks were not very clear or strongly enforced. His aggressive sales tactics worked very well. In his first month selling penny stocks, Jordan earned $38,000 in commissions. In his second month, he earned even more, $70,000. After just 1 year, Jordan had made over $500,000. He was a millionaire again. He used his money to buy a new Jaguar car, a symbol of wealth. He also moved to a much nicer house in a wealthy area. Jordan had found a way to make easy money, or so it seemed, by selling risky penny stocks to people. This was the start of a very different chapter in his life, a chapter full of fast money and big risks. 5. Jordan builds his team. Jordan was making a lot of money selling penny stocks. One day he met his neighbor, Danny Porush. Danny lived in the same building as Jordan. Danny's wife, Nancy, knew about Jordan's success. She told Danny he should talk to Jordan about his job. Danny worked in a different job before. After talking to Jordan, Danny decided to quit his old job. He wanted to work with Jordan and make money like him. Together, Jordan and Danny started their own company. They called it Stratton Oakmont. To make their new company seem more important, they used the name of another company, Stratton Securities. Stratton Securities was a real company that worked with big businesses. Jordan and Danny's company was new, but they wanted people to think it was old and successful. Their first office was not fancy. It was in an old car repair shop. When they talked to clients, they did not tell them the complete truth. They said they were a big and experienced company. Jordan called this the best version of the truth. Jordan needed people to work for him. He hired people who did not have experience with stocks. Many of these people were young and wanted to be rich. Jordan knew it would be easy to teach them his way of selling. He believed that people who were hungry for money would work hard and follow his instructions. At first, Jordan and his team sold penny stocks to normal people. But then, Jordan had a new idea. He decided to sell to rich people instead. He bought lists of phone numbers of wealthy people in America. He thought rich people would have more money to invest. To sell to these rich clients, Jordan created a special sales script. He called it the straight line system. This was a set of words and phrases to use when talking to clients on the phone. Jordan taught this script to his team. The script was designed to be very persuasive. It made people feel like they had to buy the stocks quickly or they would miss out on a great chance to make money. Jordan's team started using this script to call rich people and convince them to invest. Slowly, Jordan and his team started to do things that were not completely legal. They began to plan ways to cheat people and make even more money. This was the beginning of bigger problems for Jordan and Stratton Oakmont. 6. How Jordan cheated people. Stratton Oakmont was not only about cheating people. They also did real business deals. But Jordan had a special way to make a lot of money quickly, and it was not honest. His secret helper for these scams was a man called Alvin Abrams. The trick was based on a simple idea: supply and demand. If many people want something and there is not much of it, the price goes up. Jordan used this to cheat investors. Here is how it worked, step by step. First, Jordan and his friends bought many shares of small companies. These companies were not very good and their shares were cheap. To hide what they were doing, they used fake names and companies to buy these shares. This way, they controlled most of the shares available. This is like controlling the supply of something. Second, Jordan's brokers started calling people to sell these shares. They lied to investors. They said the company was amazing and the share price would go up very fast. They made it sound like a very good chance to make money quickly. This made more people want to buy the shares, increasing the demand. This is called pumping up the price. Third, when the price was high because many people were buying, Jordan quickly sold all his shares. He made a lot of money because he sold at a high price. But when Jordan sold, the price of the shares started to fall quickly. People who bought shares because of the broker's lies started to lose money. When the price went down and clients wanted to sell their shares to get some money back, Stratton Oakmont brokers did not help them. They were even told not to answer their clients' calls. This stopped clients from selling and losing less money. Jordan and his company got rich, but other people lost their money. This trick is called pump and dump. Jordan used this scam many times, more than 40 times. One famous example is with a shoe company called Steve Madden. When Steve Madden started selling shares to the public, Jordan used his pump and dump trick. He made millions of dollars cheating many people. This is how Jordan Belfort cheated people out of their money. 7. Big parties, big problems. Stratton Oakmont became very big. More than 1,000 people worked there. They had to move to a bigger office building outside of New York City. This new place was not in a rich area, but it looked like it was. Every day, expensive cars like Ferraris and Porsches were parked in front of the office. People wanted to work at Stratton Oakmont. even if they were not very educated. Jordan believed it was better to hire people who really wanted to be rich. He could teach them how to sell stocks. He created a special atmosphere in the company. People spent a lot of time together, they became friends, and they made a lot of money. Jordan was like a leader to his employees. Every day he gave them speeches to make them excited about work. After work they had wild parties. There were drugs and a lot of noise. Some people had affairs with each other. It was a crazy place to work. Because of this lifestyle, Jordan's first wife left him. Later, he met Nadine Caridi, who was a model. They started a new life together. They lived in a very big house, which used to belong to an important person from the stock market. Jordan also bought a yacht. It was a famous yacht where a famous designer once spent time. But Jordan was not careful and he sank the yacht in a storm. It was a miracle he survived. Jordan's drug problem became worse. He used drugs all the time. He almost died from driving his car when he was high on drugs. He showed off his rich lifestyle to his workers. He wanted them to want the same things so they would work harder to make him money, but problems were coming. In 1992, a group called the SEC started to look into Stratton Oakmont. They check companies to make sure they are following the rules. The SEC could not put people in prison, but they could give fines. Jordan knew he was in trouble. After 2 years, he made a deal with the SEC. He paid a lot of money in fines and he left Stratton Oakmont. He gave the company to his friend Danny Porush. Jordan thought he was safe, but he was wrong. The FBI, another police group, had also started to watch him. They were more serious than the SEC. The FBI could put people in prison. Jordan's big parties and wild life were bringing him big problems with the law. 8. The police catch Jordan. Agent Greg Coleman was a smart man. He used to work as a broker like Jordan. But after the big stock market crash in 1987, he changed his job. He joined the FBI to catch people who did money crimes. Jordan Belfort's case was important for Coleman. It was one of his first big cases. Coleman did not hate Belfort like some people did. He just wanted to find the truth. The movie showed a scene where Belfort tried to bribe Coleman on a yacht. This did not happen in real life. Coleman's job was to look at many papers and find clues. He had to follow the money. Coleman found something strange. Alvin Abrams, who helped Belfort with his scams, was taking out cash from the bank in a strange way. Abrams took out less than $10,000 each time, but he did it very often. This is called structuring. It is done to hide money and avoid rules about big cash withdrawals. Coleman knew this was a sign of money laundering. The police arrested Abrams. Abrams got scared and started to talk. He told the FBI about Belfort's secret money in Swiss banks. This was money laundering, hiding money made from illegal activities in other countries. The FBI also arrested Todd Garrett, who was Belfort's friend. Garrett also talked to the police to save himself. In 1998, the police finally arrested Jordan Belfort. Belfort knew he was in trouble. He made a deal with the police to get a shorter time in prison. He agreed to help the FBI catch other criminals. As part of the deal, Belfort had to wear a small microphone to record his conversations. One day, Belfort met a friend for lunch. He wanted to warn his friend that the police were watching. Belfort wrote a message on a napkin. The message said, "Don't sign anything. I am wearing a wire." but the FBI saw him do it. Agent Coleman was listening to everything Belfort said through the microphone. Coleman was angry that Belfort tried to trick him. He could have stopped the deal and sent Belfort to prison for a long time. But Coleman thought about it and decided not to. He knew Belfort could still help them catch other bad people. Belfort did help the FBI. He gave them information about other criminals. In the end, Belfort was sentenced to 4 years in prison, but he only stayed in prison for 22 months, less than 2 years. While in prison, Belfort wrote a book about his life. Later, this book became a famous movie. This movie made Belfort famous again. Now, people know him as the Wolf of Wall Street. But in reality, nobody called him that before the movie. Some people think Belfort is a wolf, a dangerous scammer, but maybe he is just good at selling himself. He was not the biggest scammer ever, and he did not steal the most money, but he became very famous. Today, his brand, being the Wolf of Wall Street, is his biggest business. Many people lost money because of Belfort's scams. It is still not clear if he has paid back all the money he owes. Agent Coleman, the FBI agent who caught Belfort, now works as a consultant. Sometimes he even gives talks with Belfort. It's a strange story of a criminal and the policeman who caught him, now almost friends.
Hey there! Just a second before you go. If you learned something new today, please give this video a like, write your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe to the channel. It only takes a second, and it really, really helps to create even better English videos for you. Your support means the world. Thank you.